At what price should you sell AMC? Because the time is coming. The time is coming where it's gonna be time to hit the sell button, but you have to be prepared ahead of time. Because if you don't get prepared, or if you're not ready, if you haven't thought this through, you're gonna start making mistakes because you're acting and making decisions based on emotions and feelings. And 99% of the time, especially when it comes to money, when you tend to make decisions based on feelings and emotions, you are making the wrong move. You're making the wrong decision. And this can cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, especially with AMC and the potential of how high the price can go. So I'm not here to debate again and to get into the details of the in and outs of how and why and what about how high AMC price can go. No, I think to answer that question about what price should I sell depends on two main factors, and those are personal to every one of us holding the stock now. Why? Because depending on what is your average cost, and depending on how is your the amount of share that you're holding, we can have the same share price, we can have the same target in mind, but it doesn't necessarily translate into the same amount of gains or the same amount of money we're going to make if we sell at this price. Why? Because if I have 100 shares and you have 1,000 shares, I mean, if we both set it at 1,000, it means I'm going to hit $1 million in market value and you're going to hit $100,000 in market value. So is $100,000 is going to be enough for you with 100 shares, or 1,000 or 10,000 going to be the price we have in mind? Because when it comes also to the next part, the main factor about how strong are you mentally to actually continue to hold when it hit that certain price, right? Because someone now sitting currently with AMC around a $60 share price, I mean average cost price, he's currently in the red. All right, it's currently in the red, but someone with an average cost price around $10 is currently in the green of thousands of dollars, depending on how big his position is. So his or her position is. So that to say, it all comes down to, okay, how confident am I thinking that me as an individual, I'm willing to continue to hold this without having to stress and lose sleep at night because I'm so fearful. I'm stressing so much on if the share price go down, if the share price go up. All right. And also, at which price do I think is going to be enough money for me to actually do something now that my future self will thank me for? Because it's something to make money on AMC, but we have to know exactly how to manage the tax gains. We know how to manage that huge money that we will be making into AMC for the aftermath, because it's not going to be different for some of us as hitting the lottery. And 90% of the time, people tend to do silly things when they hit the lottery. All right. So we have to be really careful. And that's what I'm saying. It really depends on two main things: your stress level. How confident are you into holding when we get to the high prices? And second of all, the target at which you think this is enough for me, and not letting greed drive you and fuel you into maybe losing a ton of money on the table because you're waiting for a certain limit that will never come. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is not about also showing to the hedges sticking it to the hedges like they did to us back in January. But the question is, we are all holding AMC, but we are not all equal, if you see what I mean.